Women want men arrested for refusing to raise children that aren't theirs. So there's a story that is going all around the world right now. A man was basically married to this woman and she had multiple kids for him. He found out the children were not his, and he basically is trying to get out of that marriage now. It is a massive controversy. To make matters worse, while the trial and the lawsuit is happening, she then finds out that the fourth child that she was pregnant with is also not his. So she was cheating on him during the entire period of time where he was saying, "These are not my kids," while she was demanding that he be forced legally to provide for these kids or be arrested. Today's video comes from the China Unvarnished channel. Their channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check them out and support them. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of women now demanding that men be arrested for refusing to raise children that aren't theirs. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy.
If you don't have a side
没有一个是我的3个小孩。
This must be the most frustrated man of 2023. Married for 16 years, all 3 children are not his biological children, but that's not the end of it. When the incident was exposed, the woman gave birth to a 4th child, and it also wasn't his biological child. Recently, Mr. Chen from Shangrao City, Jiangxi Province, revealed that after being married for over a decade, none of the 3 daughters he had with his wife were biologically his. After the story was exposed by social media, it quickly gained widespread attention and had a huge social impact. Mr. Chen and his wife, Ms. Yu, were introduced to each other through a matchmaker in 2007. At that time, blind dating was a very common method of finding a partner. The two got along well after meeting, and after a few months, they confirmed their romantic relationship. In November 2007, Ms. Yu got pregnant, and Mr. Chen and Ms. Yu registered their marriage with their parents as witnesses, officially becoming husband and wife. On February 28, 2008, they held a grand wedding. Before marriage, Mr. Chen had been working in Hangzhou, operating a concrete mixer truck. After getting married, in order to provide a better life for his wife and future children, he quit his job in Hangzhou and became a semi-trailer truck driver. Being a semi-trailer truck driver is very hard work, so Mr. Chen lived and ate on the truck to save money, and he handed over his entire monthly salary to his wife, Ms. Yu. Over the years, Ms. Yu gave birth to 3 daughters and stayed at home to care for them, while all the financial responsibilities rested solely on Mr. Chen's shoulders. For Mr. Chen at that time, this was nothing out of the ordinary. He believed that as long as he could provide well for his wife and children, he would be happy, no matter how hard he had to work. Although their life was not wealthy, it was peaceful. It wasn't until May 2021 that his wife, who hadn't been involved in society for years, suddenly proposed to partner with a man named Wu Tan on a project. At the time, Mr. Chen didn't know who Wu Tan was, so he agreed to his wife's request.
Wu Tan, another name for Hung Lo.
7 p.m., Mr. Chen video called his wife, but when she answered, she only spoke briefly before wanting to hang up, saying she was about to put the children to bed. Considering it was only around 7 p.m., Mr. Chen found it strange that she would be putting the children to bed so early. He thought she was just tired from taking care of the kids, so he didn't think much of it. However, this happened several times afterward. Since Mr. Chen was often away on the road, he started feeling uneasy. So, Mr. Chen used his phone's location tracker to check where his wife was, and found that she was at a hotel. He navigated to the hotel, but didn't dare to go inside. He wasn't sure what he would face next, and he didn't know how to face his children either. He waited outside the hotel all night. At that point, he still held on to a faint hope that maybe his wife was just out for a short trip. But eventually, reality hit him. The next morning, around 9 a.m., he saw his wife, Ms. Yu, walking to the front desk with a man. They checked out of the hotel together. Mr. Chen could no longer control his anger, and slapped both of them. It was no wonder that Mr. Chun lost control. What man could endure being betrayed by his wife? It was a complete humiliation. Perhaps because they felt guilty, neither of them fought back. Mr. Chen then informed his wife's aunt and uncle, and they went to his mother-in-law's house to expose the incident. Mr. Chen thought that his mother-in-law's family would side with him, but he never expected that they would all advise him to let it go and go back to his life. Mr. Chen was furious. Why should he just swallow his pride with a few words of, let it go?
Let it go and keep taking care of those kids. The reason why they said let it go is quite simple, because they knew what was going on the entire time. They knew she was cheating on him the entire time. They had likely met a number of the guys that she was cheating on him with. They knew he was a simp. They had no empathy or sympathy for him. They look at it kind of like he's a bandejo, you know? You should have known your wife was cheating on you, little bro. You know, she got you. So just you might as well, you've been married to her for 16 years. You know, everything has been okay overall, right? So just leave it alone and forget about it. You know, go back to sleep, keep on working, keep on giving her the money, keep on taking care of those kids like a good beta male simp, and that's it. You see, human beings overall are wicked. This is the reason why I say do not show kindness to people. Be polite, but do not be kind. Show kindness to those who are kind to you, and even those who are kind to you, do not be overly kind to them, because then they can turn and say, oh, wait a minute, you know what? I can use this person. There has to be balance in a relationship. And let me tell you something, when it comes to a relationship with a woman should be simping for you. I'm being real with you. A woman should be simping for you. If she does not like you more than you like her, then that's a problem in the relationship. She has to desire you more than you desire her. You have to be her entire world. She has to be obsessed with your hobbies. A woman should be a little bit obsessed with you. You want your woman to be obsessed with you. You want, not to the point where you're miserable and you cannot live your life in peace, but you want your woman to be obsessed with you. You want your woman to constantly want to be around you. Now she can't have that all the time, because it's not good to be around someone all the time. You guys need breaks from each other. Even if it's to go and do other things, you have to find periods of time to put, gaps of time to put between one another, so that she learns to miss you and not take advantage of you, right? Another thing is that if you go to work, if you're constantly gone, you're at work, you don't see her very often, and when you come home, she is not happy to see you, or she's not greeting you, she did not miss you, you cannot tell that she missed you. Oh, we've been married for a long time, bro, she's cheating on you. Even a lot of modern women who they are married to their husbands, and their husbands, for example, let's say they're in the military and their husband goes overseas and they come back and their wife is waiting for them, and she throws it back and everything is like gravy. She very well still may be cheating on you. That's a very common thing over in Navy towns, or when the men go out, when the men are gone, the women are out on town, or the women are out on the town looking for men to hook up with. This is how women operate. So it's very sad for this individual. But what's messed up is that I warn you about these things. I talk to you guys about these things, and many of you will disagree with me. And it's like, why are you watching the video then? Why are you listening to the entire video then? Because it's entertaining and I tell funny jokes, but then you learn nothing from it. So what's even the point? You know, what's even the point if you're just going to sit here and you find it funny, but then at the same time you want to argue with me, and then you learn nothing. And then when things start going wrong, you reach out to me privately, and it's like you want me to guide you, but you want to still keep being a simp. You can't have it both ways. You know, you have to be mindful. It's the same men who are like, my mommy was an angel, my mommy was a good person. Yes, there are bad women, but not my mommy. Bro, how old are you now? Bro, you're 40, you're 42, and you're saying my mommy. Yes, my mommy, and I love my mommy. My mommy is an angel. Your mommy is not an angel. You got here, you didn't get here through love. You got here because your parents were smashing, bro. Okay, your mommy was not on the pill. She forgot to take her pill that day. In fact, she really wasn't taking it to begin with. She was just pretending. Okay, you got. Listen, guys, I was born. I know. I was born out of wedlock. Being straight, it took me years to find out. I was conceived out of wedlock. I wasn't born out of wedlock, but I was conceived out of wedlock. And then my parents had to rush and get married as a result of that. Guys, and that's nothing. I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm one of the lucky ones. Okay. And I figured that out when my mother basically revealed the year that she got married and the year and date that she got married. And I was like, wait a minute, that would have just been a little bit before. That would have just been a little bit before I would have been conceived. Yeah, the math ain't mathing here. And then she tried to lie about it, but I figured it out. Guys, as men, if we don't wake up and we're not careful, we can end up homeless. We can end up destitute. We can end up in poverty. We can end up on child support for years. This poor bastard, his life is destroyed. For 16 years, he was giving this woman every paycheck. Do you realize he has no money for himself? Do you realize this man is now borderline destitute? He has nothing to show for all his hard work. He did it all for his family, a family that was not even his. He did it all for what do you call those people? You know, father-in-law, mother-in-law that not only did not appreciate him, but that viewed him as a simp. Her family is her family, not your family. These people don't care about you. They don't even like you. And when the woman starts taking advantage of you and using you, that makes them like you even less. From the very beginning, I told you guys, a woman is planning her exit before she plans her entrance. She is planning her divorce before she plans her wedding. A lot of men don't listen. A lot of men refuse to listen to me. And then when their lives are screwed up now, that's when they come and saying Uncle Angry, Angry Sama, when they're a bunch of broke boys and they're looking for someone who will understand and listen to their pain and suffering. And it's like, bro, go talk to God. When I was trying to, talk to you and educate you, you were one of my trolls. Don't come to me now. No, come on, man. Don't be like that. No, you're a simp. All right, go talk to God and go deal with your suffering. There are other men who could use my help. You're not one of them. All right, you're a punk. Get the hell out of my face. And that's how you have to deal with these individuals. That's really, really how you have to deal with these individuals because they didn't learn they refused to learn their lessons. So let them go learn in the streets now. Guys, you shouldn't be focusing on relationships. You should be focusing on getting your money. One of the best ways to do that is using crypto because hard times are here. They have arrived. Hot girl summer is over. Broke girl winter has now begun. And you're gonna watch this, especially with the tariffs and everything else, and the banks. You're gonna find out the banks don't have any money. The banks don't have any money, and the ATMs are gonna stop working. The power's not gonna go out, or rather, even if the power goes out, it will come back on. And when it comes back on, the ATMs are gonna stop working. The banks are gonna have the doors chained, and the only way that you'll be able to protect your wealth, safeguard your wealth, or even have access to your wealth is going to be in the form of crypto. Now, Angry's Crypto Academy will teach you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. And we'll tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. So don't miss out on this opportunity. The Academy is linked in the description of the video. Most women are going to be between a rock and a hard place when the floor falls out. All right. And they will not have anyone that's going to come to their rescue because the next time something goes down, women are going to say, the next time we're in a major crisis, women are going to say, men, help. And men are going to whisper, no.
What else could he do? During an interview with the media, Mr. Chen tearfully expressed his pain.
我就在想，他只要肯回头，为了孩子，只能选择原谅啊！我不想孩子成为一个单亲家庭的孩子。
In the end, for the sake of his daughters, Mr. Chen chose to let it go. He thought things would go on like this, but to his dismay, things took another turn. In late December 2021, Mr. Chen discovered that his wife had secretly taken out a loan for over 300,000 yuan. This was a considerable amount of money. And when Mr. Chen confronted her about the loan, she casually mentioned that the money was for the project. At this point, Mr. Chen had already figured out that his wife's partner was Wu Tan, the man who had stayed in the hotel with her. Furious, he slapped his wife again.
Guys, how much is 300,000 yuan? 300,000 yuan to United States dollars is 41,164 United States dollars. Okay, so she took out over $40,000 to go take care of her man. This actually a very similar situation happened over in Texas very recently, where a husband, he had been working hard for his wife. She stole like $100,000 from him, took that money and used it to pay for her man that she was cheating on him with. When he confronted the wife, she basically expressed zero empathy and let him know just how little she could care. He ended up he ended up control alt deleting her. He was arrested. It went before an all-female jury. I guarantee you, if there were any simps, if there had been any men on that jury, it would have probably have been a simp, and it would have been over for him. But because it was an all-female jury, he ended up getting a better shot with an all-female jury than a male jury. Don't get, I guarantee you that won't always happen like that. And he ended up getting something like 10 years in prison, maybe. But he'll be out, but he can get parole within as little as 5. And people were like, is this going to? And the thing is, in Texas, usually they used to have this law. It was an unspoken thing called a crime of passion. And the way it worked, and I learned this in business school from my old Texan business professor. It was called a crime of passion. And for example, if you found like a woman cheating on, if you found another man cheating with your wife, or your wife cheating with some other man, and something happened, and one or both of them end up getting control alt deleted, the courts would usually not prosecute you for it at all. They would call it a crime of passion. They would understand that here this man is, meeting his obligations in the relationship, and these two are out here creeping. So they didn't tolerate that in Texas back then. But then, the laws changed, feminism came about, and it became more normal for women to get away with everything and anything that they would do. And no fault divorces became a nationwide thing. So this was but fast forward, he basically caught her. She didn't express any empathy for what she had done. He control alt deleted her, and the jury basically said, you're guilty, but you're not that guilty. So he ended up getting like 10 years. He can be out in early as 5. And everyone was like, hey, this is just how it is, and they felt bad for him. But this poor bastard, he should never have forgiven that woman. See, this is what happens trying to be a good man. A lot of you will not listen to me until it's too late. A lot of you will say you don't care. You're going to do whatever it takes to be there for your family, to be there for your kids. God wants you to be a good man. Forgive your enemies. Forgive her for what they have. Guys, it's a load of nonsense. These men, these people who say these things are people who do not care about you. They do not care about you. They talk about love. This is not love. All right. This is being complicit in horrible actions. You have to stand up for yourself. Let me tell you something right now. As a man, you must put your needs above your children and above your family. It sounds insane. If you cannot take care of your family, if you can't take care of yourself, eventually you will no longer be able to take care of your family. There are a lot of men who had to walk away from their families because it was the best thing to do for their families, and not just for their families, but for themselves. People are like, well, if you had stuck around, things could have been different. Blah. No, if you can't feed your kids, they are better off in they are better off in the foster care system. I know you're like, this is horrible. If you can't feed your kids, your wife can't take care of them, let those kids go to foster care. All right, and build yourself. If you love your family, if you love your kids, you can stay in touch with your children in foster care, evidently. So even while they're in foster care, you can still stay in touch with them. You can still know how they're doing. You're just because you can't take care of them doesn't mean they're not your kids anymore. But you have to get your life right. You need to get your money up. You need to get your relationship with God back on track. You need to make sure your health is okay. You need your mental, your physical, and your spiritual. If I be personally, I don't mess with people anymore. But even your relationships, if that's something important for you, you can work on that. But you need to have your life together. You need to be okay before you can even think about helping those kids, about being with a woman, about being taking care of a family. If you're not able to do these things, hashtag walk away, because no one cares about us as men. The only one that cares about us is God and maybe ourselves. No one gives a damn about you. No one gives a damn about you. So for many of us, not even our mothers love us, or they don't love us as much as we believe they do. So your only option is to walk away. That's your only option and your only power in knowing when to do it. This poor bastard, he was going to keep on raising the children that were not his. And as a result of not walking away, this woman was like, okay, so she had very bad character. And as a result of not knowing when to walk away, it only got worse for him. All right. Now she was robbing him. So she stole all of the money that he had spent for years with her, and now on top of it, she took out a loan. So now he's going to be liable for all of that money. What a crazy amount of theft. Do you see, guys? This is a person who did not like this man, and some of you will justify it and call it, it's about God and blah blah blah. Listen to me. He would be better off with Uncle Angry, listening to Uncle Angry. All right. I get so angry with some of these men. I'm so sick and tired of some of these men that try to. It's like they're just nothing that you say to these dudes will get through to them. If you want to end up in poverty, if you want to end up destitute, if you want to end up in prison, if you want to end up doing the room temperature challenge, then listen to these guys. Listen to guys like Destiny and see where that lands you. See where that's going to put you. It's going to put you on a path of poverty, destitution, and despair. You need to know when to walk away. Forget about modern women. Forget about modern relationships. Focus on getting your bag. Focus on getting your money up. Okay. I showed you guys this in another video, but I'll show it to you again. It was a meme that I posted, and it's basically, before Angry's Crypto Academy, after Angry's Crypto Academy. So we teach you guys how to do day trading in there, using very simple methods so you can make a couple $100 a day, replace your job. And basically the first one is, dinner with candles. So the above image it basically shows this man losing all of his money while dating this woman, paying lots of money for small amounts of food. And then the bottom one is basically, after Angry's Crypto Academy, and candles after Angry's Crypto Academy. And the things that you see on the chart on the screen are what we call candlesticks and candlestick patterns. And it basically shows you patterns of how the markets are behaving so that you can make money. Are they going up? Is it going down? And as you can see, he's basically, living far below his means. He's eating from a container. So maybe he went and got himself some ramen that looks like ramen, has like a nice big thing of ramen, put that into the microwave, heating that up, and he's enjoying his best life. And now he's watching his money grow, So that the top is is before Angry's Crypto Academy. The bottom is below. The bottom is after Angry's Crypto Academy. You can find a link to a description of the video. We actually have the, what do you call the damn thing? It is the crypto day trading blueprint for dummies. We actually created that for you guys so that, it's a condensed, focused blueprint for our bootcamp members. And it teaches you exactly everything you need to know rapidly, how to begin day trading right away, how to begin making money right away. It's very, very fast. You can basically replace your job, only work 1 hour a day. This is what a lot of people are going to need especially as everything goes to hell. We actually have a massive sale happening in the academy right now. We've never had a sale like this before. It's for Super Bowl weekend. It's called the Super Bowl 2025 sale. Everything is 75% off. You're not going to see this happening again. You can actually find a link to that in the description of the video. You can go and check that out. Because right now we're heading into extremely hard times. Hard times are here, and you need to be prepared for these hard times. Don't be a fool, because modern women, oh my gosh, what they are facing right now is what we call hell on earth, because no one is going to come and rescue them. They have basically destroyed all goodwill between men and women. They scorched the earth with M2, and then they kept on going. So there is nothing left. There's going to be any relationship between a man and a woman. It's going to be between a man and a woman overseas. All right, because 90% of men have stopped dating, having children, getting into relationships with women in Western society, and 95% are tired of it entirely. So so check this out. 90% are done with 90% are done entirely. All right, they're either going their own way or walking away. So if they're gonna have a relationship, they'll go overseas, and then there's 5% who are like that are still dating. They're just tired. They hate dating, but they're afraid of being alone, and they want someone. So they're still going out there and getting and playing this game that is miserable. And then of course you have the top 5% that women actually love and actually will desire, and from that top 5%, they still only want the top 1%. They want men who don't even exist. That's why I say, like, you shouldn't be wasting your time with them. You should be focusing on getting your money so that you don't have to get into a provocative situation like this poor guy who's now going to find out that, even after he forgave this woman, even after he continued trying to raise another man's kids. None of these kids are his. This woman is stealing money from him. And then it gets even worse.
Flap, his wife left home, abandoning their 3 daughters without a word, and he couldn't get in touch with her. Mr. Chen began to suspect that the children might not be his biological children. At first, he thought that his 3rd daughter was the least likely to be his. First, because the 3rd daughter didn't look like anyone in the family.
Okay, so he still hasn't even found out that the children aren't his. He just knew that she cheated on him, but he decided to let it go and continue raising the kids because he believed, oh, well, they're my kids. So, even though she did this to me, I still have my children. Oh, so the poor bastard doesn't even know at this point that the kids aren't his yet. Let's keep going.
Second, when his wife was pregnant with the 3rd child, they had used a condom. When the 3rd child was conceived, he was confused, but his wife reassured him that condoms couldn't guarantee 100% effectiveness.
So what this reveals is that the fact that he was confused that this occurred because they had used a contraceptive, this tells us that she was only being physically intimate with him on a very rare occasion. If he could remember the exact period of time when they were physically intimate and to say, well, say for sure that it could not have happened because they had used protection, this illustrates the fact more than likely some of you are like, well, maybe they were always using protection. Or it's more like physical intimacy was very rare in their relationship, especially since he was typically gone most of the time, driving a truck, living on the truck, sleeping on the truck, eating on the truck. So, because he was always gone, he knows it's like it's not possible. You have to realize that for all the time that he had been with this woman, they were maybe physically intimate, maybe only once or twice a year. He was only doing it because he was so desperate to have children and have a family that he did not see the red flags, and this is where it put him. And a lot of men don't realize that this is why you have to have something for yourself. You have to invest in something. You have to create something for you that's going to create intergenerational wealth so that you have a future. Your crypto will work for you when you're not working, when you're just chilling. All right. It's a safety net. It's not even just a safety net, it's about your future and survival. Ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional. It's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
Mr. Chen accepted her explanation and didn't think much of it at the time. But now, looking back, he wondered if this child was not his. While Mr. Chen was mulling over these thoughts, his eldest daughter told him that her mother had considered getting a divorce and said that if they did, she would take the eldest and the 3rd child with her. Mr. Chen was puzzled. Could the eldest not be his biological child as well? He also noticed that only the eldest and the third daughter had new clothes, while the second daughter didn't even have a new winter jacket. Mr. Chen concluded that only the second daughter could be his, so he decided to get a paternity test for all three children, to be fair. And then, the tragedy happened. When the results came back, Mr. Chen felt like the sky had fallen on him. None of the three children were his. This was a huge humiliation. All these years, he had been betrayed by his wife more times than he could count. After working hard for over a decade, he had been raising someone else's children. When he later gave an interview, Mr. Chen said that even if only one child were his, he would have been willing to continue living with his wife. But even this modest wish couldn't be fulfilled. When he received the paternity test results, Mr. Chen completely lost his mind. He reported the incident to every media outlet he could think of, hoping to find a way to resolve this. On May 22, Jiangxi media agreed to interview him, and the story was quickly reported. On the night of May 28, his wife, along with her lover Wu Tan, came to Mr. Chen's house, lit firecrackers with mosquito coils, and shattered the windows. Then they violently smashed the door. Mr. Chen's nearly 70-year-old father nearly had a heart attack, and his mother couldn't sleep all night. After the incident, Mr. Chen was furious. He kept the broken windows as evidence and decided to pursue criminal charges. Why, after doing such a shameless thing, could his wife still act so confidently and even bring her lover to cause trouble at his house? His wife's mother told reporters that this was not only her daughter's fault. She claimed that Mr. Chen had often abused his wife, particularly because he was biased against girls.
Do you see the lies? Do you see the crap? Guys, they will invent anything out of thin air and their parents will lie for them. Look at the situation, the trial between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Amber Heard's parents were trying to live off Johnny's money. They never liked him. Johnny was good friends with the father, and the father knew what was happening, and he allowed this to happen. The guys, these are, and a lot of these people are God-fearing people, church Bible thumping people, and they do these things. And of course, you'll have these people in my comments, especially the boomers, or you cannot think this way, angry, or if you do not forgive, blah blah. Guys, these people are devilish. God does not tell you to be foolish. He does not tell you to endless, you must always turn the other cheek. That's how you end up losing everything, including your existence. Stop being a damn idiot. Wake the hell up before it's too late. Don't end up like this poor sap, all right? Stop trying to be a good man. You have to be a calculating man. You have to be aware. People are always looking to take advantage of you, especially if they see that you have something. You might think it's nothing. You'd be shocked how people view you. They're all right. You're like you don't realize how much value you have to someone else. All right. The world, it was built on SLAVERY, and it never really went away. People will turn you into their SLAVE in many other ways, and we will sometimes we do it to ourselves because we're afraid of being alone. We want family, we want relationships, we want someone to be there, some type of legacy. Guys, this is all stupidity. You have to learn how to walk away. You have to wake up and realize that this world doesn't care about you. And as men, it does not like us. And the Sims are endlessly going. The Sims are never going to change. Very few Sims truly repent. Truly repent. If you repent, you thoroughly repent for simping. A lot of these men won't even repent. They won't even repent. They'll say, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with simping. But they don't repent for it. They don't regret doing it. They regret the consequences of it. And they're tired. They're getting older. They're broke. They're tired of being abused. So now they're walking away. They're like, okay, yeah, well, yeah, all right, I've done enough. They don't care about all the men that they hurt along the way. They don't care about all the lives that they destroyed. They don't care about how they contributed to this miserable, destructive society that we now live in. That absolutely HATEs men. They don't care. They only care about the fact that now they're tired of suffering, and now they're gonna walk away. And they'll literally say things like, "Well, they weren't in control of themselves when they did it, so they can't be held accountable for it." This is the same kind of garbage when you hear like some thug went and committed a horrible crime, and now he's going to be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And the argument is like, well, he grew up in a bad neighborhood and blah blah blah, and he wasn't in control of himself at the time, so he shouldn't be held accountable. If you can't be in control of yourself, then you don't need to be in society. All right, you should either be in prison, institutionalized, or maybe you don't need to be on this plane of existence anymore. All right, because you're a danger to everyone, to yourself, and everyone around you.
He even claimed that he had beaten his wife after their first daughter was born, kicking her with his feet. If the villagers hadn't intervened, his wife would have been dead by then. Mr. Chen flatly denied his mother-in-law's allegations. He told reporters that before his wife had the affair, he had never even raised his voice to her, let alone hit her. So, was his mother-in-law making things up, or was his wife using these accusations to cover up her own guilt? The reporter contacted his wife, Ms. Yu, and during the interview, she avoided commenting on whether Mr. Chen had abused her due to his preference for sons. However, when asked about the paternity of the 3 children, she arrogantly dismissed it, saying it didn't matter. Listen, how shameless must a person be to say something like this? Even if someone adopts a child, it's still a voluntary decision for both parties, and both have the right to know. How can one hide the fact of giving birth to another person's child from her husband, and then act so self-righteous about it? Not only that, but before the husband was about to do a paternity test for the child, Ms. Yu proactively told her husband, After the incident, Ms. Yu took all 3 children with her, and Mr. Chen did not stop her. Over the years, Mr. Chen had given everything he could to these 3 daughters, only to end up with such a result. Now these children to him are a source of shame. They are proof of his wife's infidelity, and he doesn't even want to look at them. But even though Mr. Chen is the victim, after the revelation of the incident, some people still condemned Mr. Chen for being heartless, saying that the children had called him dad for over a decade, and that despite no blood relation, there must still be feelings involved.
Do you guys realize that there are situations in the United States, for example, but it's been happening for decades now, where a man doesn't even have to be the father of the child? That's correct. For example, there was a case a number of years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and it happens all the time, where, for example, the guys, it's normal. It's just becoming accelerated in China right now, but it's been happening in America forever, where this man, he had a bunch of children. A lot of his kids were the same thing. Like he had like a 16-year-old daughter. Like he had grown the kids. A lot of kids were grown, not grown as in like adults, but they were like in their teens, preteens, are just like heading towards their later teen years. And he discovered that basically his wife had been cheating on him, and no one felt bad about it. And then when he tried to get rid of those kids and say, like, you know what, I don't want to pay child support for these kids. Here's how the story actually went. First, he found out that his wife was cheating on him, so he got rid of his wife and took the kids and started raising the kids on his own. Then he went and got DNA tests, and he found out that I think almost all of the kids were not his except for one of them. So then he gave the kids back to his wife and said, you know what? I don't want to pay child support for these kids. I don't want to raise these kids if they're not mine. And then, of course, the court then says, well, you know what? You have a bond with those children. You raised them. So even though you're not biologically like 3 out of the 4 kids' father, we're still going to force you to pay child support because we have to think about the well-being of the child over your own well-being. So we're going to force you to pay child support for children that are not yours, because it would hurt the children to die for you not to pay this. Keep in mind what the state does is they take out child support against the man for they take out like the full amount. They take it out in the form of a loan. So basically for them to undo the child support, the state would end up defaulting on that loan. They'd have to come up with the money for the loan that they took out on that child support. It's a strange system. Okay? This is the world that we live in. And of course, society does not care about you as men. Society doesn't care about us. Guys, if you want to listen to Simps, go listen to Simps. If you're a simp listening to my content and you disagree with me, go away. Don't listen. And there's some Simps who are like, oh, I don't care. I'm going to listen anyway. I'm going to listen and I'm going to mock you and talk crap. Why are you even here? We are 40 minutes into this video. 40 minutes into this video, and you've watched the entire video. How much of a loser do you have to be to watch the whole damn video? The whole damn video, and then you want to argue with me, okay? A lot of people dropped off already, and here you are at over 40 minutes into the video, still listening to the video and talking crap to me. Go away. Go watch videos by people like Destiny or, or Steve Harvey. Go listen to these types of people. Leave me alone. Leave my content alone. You don't need this, little bro. All right, there's something else for you out there. Go and find your lady love and have children with a woman in American society if you can get one. All right, bro? Leave me the heck alone. You don't need this. I don't need you. I don't want you. I don't want your money. I don't want you. I don't want you here. You don't need to benefit from my words, and never ever come back. Don't come back years later. I've warned some of you. Don't come back years later with Uncle Angry and Angry Sama. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick and tired of this crap. Don't come back to me years later. I've been doing this for over 10 years. Some of you will come back to me a couple months later and like, yeah, I'll admit it. I was one of your trolls. I was one of your detractors, and I apologize. I don't want to hear your apology. Dude, like some of y'all like Angry. He's apologizing. Don't you have any heart? It's men like, they didn't have a proper father and you blah, blah, have some, but no, get the hell out of here. No. All right. Do not come back. If this does not work for you, if this message, I have no time for you. Stop watching, leave, never come back. Don't look to be Uncle Angry for empathy. No, go to the streets. It's from the streets that you came. It's from the streets that you came. It is to the streets that you shall return. All right. Go be with the streets. Go be one with the streets. Go find religion if you want forgiveness, because you're not going to get it from me. Because these men who do these things and then try to push other men down this path of simping and nonsense and try to use God as a reason for it, then basically want someone to hold their hand and comfort them when they lose everything. No, bro, I'm not the one. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That the children were innocent. To this, Mr. Chen replied,
孩子无辜，那是孩子母亲、孩子亲生父亲他们自己一手造成的，不是我。不要拿道德绑架我，孩子在法律上我也没有这个责任，在道德上我也没有这个义务。
It's easy to criticize others. People who stand on their moral high ground and criticize others never stop to think, what if the situation happened to them? How would they handle it? This is the typical case of standing and talking without feeling the pain.
Because no one has empathy for men. We are not viewed as humans. We are viewed as, at best, subhumans, SLAVEs, and our only value is based on what we can provide. That's it. And not only what we can provide, but what have we provided lately for women and the state.
Mr. Chen has been hit hard by this event. The blow was just too great. This situation has trampled on his dignity as a man. As a result, Mr. Chen felt ashamed to face his family. Later, after being persuaded by friends and family, he decided to stop punishing himself. He wanted to take up legal arms to defend his dignity and ensure that the two responsible individuals would face legal consequences. During the time Mr. Chen decided to sue, someone anonymously approached him, offering 150,000 yuan to settle the matter, hoping that he wouldn't continue to publicize the case. But Mr. Chen rejected this outright. What he wanted was not money, but justice and dignity. To everyone's shock, after the incident was exposed, Ms. Yu gave birth to a fourth child at the Shangrao People's Hospital. If you haven't guessed yet, you've probably guessed correctly. The child was also not Mr. Chen's.
Notice they offered him 150,000 yuan to settle. So maybe that was the father of the other child, okay? So obviously they knew that they had done something like, yeah, and that works out to $20,000. That works out to 20,000 United States dollars. This is crazy stuff. And keep in mind, this woman had taken out a loan for over $40,000 against them, 300,000 yuan. So so about 41,000. And now there's someone approached him like saying, hey, I'll give you 20,000 USD to settle. Yeah, probably the father or the father of of the fourth child that turns out that is not his.
December 28, 2023, Mr. Chen's divorce lawsuit against Ms. Yu was heard in the Jiangxi Provincial People's Court. Mr. Chen demanded that Ms. Yu return the child support for the 3 kids and compensate him for his emotional distress, totaling 500,000 yuan. Since neither defendant showed up in court, the case was not ruled on at the hearing. Although the result has not been determined, Ms. Yu's shamelessness and her moral degradation have caused her to lose everyone's trust.
And they don't care. Modern women don't care. They'll continue to play that they're victims. And so 500,000 yuan works out to 68,607 United States dollars at the current conversion rate. So he's suing for almost $70,000. $70,000 that he put into this marriage. And I guarantee he's put more than that in there. He put way more than that into the marriage. It's painful. Absolutely painful to think what this man has gone through, and society does not care about us as men. And of course, the Sims are going to disagree. It's like, I don't know why they're even talking or trying to argue. All right, this is, guys, the Sims don't care about you and they don't like you, and don't let them try to manipulate you using religion. Who hurt you, Angry? Who hurt you? Look at what happened to this man. God can fix this. God can give him back his life, and God is going to bless him for what he has done. Guys, these are horrible people. Don't listen to these people. These are demonic people. They are of the Jezebel spirit.
The public opinion has overwhelmingly sided with Mr. Chen. It is clear that, no matter how this matter is handled, the harm to Mr. Chen is the greatest, and this will likely affect his entire life. When 2 people come together as husband and wife, if the relationship ends, it should be let go gracefully. Multiple instances of infidelity within the marriage is a blatant humiliation. Ms. Yu's actions are truly disgraceful, and we hope she will receive the punishment she deserves and give the victim the justice they deserve. What do you think about this incident? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section, and let's discuss together. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel.
I mean, guys, this is a disgrace. And this is what men face silently, especially in the United States. If it happened in the U.S., no one would care. They don't even talk about this. This happens every day in America. No one cares. Look at France. It's illegal. You can be arrested if you go and try to get a paternity test without in France. You could be. It's against the law. The Supreme Court of France literally ruled that it would be a disruption of the home to allow men to get paternity tests. All right, because they estimate in the United States, it's estimated that roughly half of all children born in the United States are born that are the product of paternity fraud. So, for example, the person who they believe to be their father is not their father. In France, they believe that it's up to 80. It's somewhere between 70 and 90%, a minimum of 70%, but it may be as high as 90%, 80 to 90%. All right. So almost every child born in France right now, they believe is the product of paternity fraud. Almost every single child born in France is the product of paternity fraud. The person who is raising them is not their actual father. I'm telling you. Guys, this is someone who says, like, this whole believe all women thing. People who say believe us without proof or evidence are committing acts of evil. To believe someone without evidence, all right, just to believe them, is a person trying to deceive you. My gosh. I don't know. This whole situation just pissed me off. Making this video just pissed me off. The fact that, guys, this woman wanted this man arrested for not taking care of kids that weren't his. She tried to have his life destroyed, claiming that her mother-in-law tried to have his life destroyed by claiming that there had been things happening in the marriage. This shows you who these people are. This is why, as men, it's best to be alone, to walk away. Guys, I've been playing these incredible games online right now. A lot of them are visual novels about relationships and stuff. I'm telling you, after you go PC Master Race, you cannot go back. You really can't. You really, really can't. I've been playing these amazing PC games. and some of them work on my Mac because I have an amazing gaming laptop. Constantly talk about it. I have a Strix. It was actually one of you guys who recommended I get a Strix, and I was like, no, I'm going to get the Zephyrius, and then it not. I ended up spending like over $3,000 on the Zephyrius, and it was smaller than the Strix, and like it ended up not working. I was really stressed out, so I had to send it back, and then I ended up buying a Strix and afterwards, and I ended up getting the Strix at like half the price of the Zephyrius. And the Strix, I got it on sale during Black Friday, and I upgraded the RAM on it, and the Strix ended up just being absolutely incredible. After all the upgrades I put into it, it's like a $2,700 system right now, almost a $3,000 system, because I slapped in 4 terabyte SSD into it. So now I have 5 terabytes of memory in there, and then I also slapped in 96 gigabytes of RAM. So while the extra RAM won't necessarily improve gaming, it will actually make it run a lot better. So the operating system will never run out of RAM. You don't need that much RAM. 32 gigabytes is plenty. But the thing is, 96 can still end up helping when it comes to the operating system. For example, I'm a person who has like a bunch of things constantly running in the background. So unless you're like completely focused on gaming, a lot of RAM can still be beneficial, especially if you have like graphical programs running, like for example, like doing visual editing and stuff like that. A lot of RAM could also be beneficial. So, I've been doing that. I've been playing these games, some of these girlfriend simulators. They're really awesome. And, I, basically once you go PC, console feels like a downgrade. So definitely that's one thing you guys should be doing, getting into more console gaming. The PlayStation Network went down, and people who had purchased their games digitally could not play their games on their PlayStation, and they were being met with a message saying that the game could not be verified. So this kind of just shows you that you owned absolutely nothing. This is the reason why I've diversified my collection, and I whenever I can, I do try to pick up some of my games at least on GOG. I have over 300 games on GOG. I have 371 games on GOG, so almost 400 games on GOG. GOG stands for it still stands for Good Old Games, but they have a lot of new games on there as well. And I basically stock up on games on here, especially like my favorite games. This way, if anything goes down, I will always have stuff to play. And I have more games on GOG than I can ever probably play. I do need to buy some more. I know you're like, buy some more. Yeah, for like there's this thing called like the Trails RPGs, and I actually want to own that. I like the convenience of being able to play my games on Steam, so I end up double dipping a lot, where I'll have a version on GOG and a version on Steam, but I try to buy them dirt cheap when they're on sale. I also get like codes from Amazon Prime Gaming. So there's a lot of and they give you GOG codes. So like you can get codes for games that cost like $50 on GOG, or $50 on Steam, and you can just put them on GOG, and you own them forever. There's so many ways to get games get games cheap or games for free. It just kind of wastes your eyes up to realizing that modern gaming is a scam. If you want to learn more about getting into gaming, getting games for cheap, like getting it, like transitioning over to PC gaming, 100% go and check out Angry's Arcade. There's a link to a description of the video. I have an entire gaming site for you guys. You can go and check that out. It's Angry's Arcade, link in the description. And I basically teach you guys about getting into PC gaming, what to look for, how to buy your games cheap. It's crazy. There's things called key resellers, but you have to know where to buy from and who to buy from, or you can get scammed. But it's a much better world. There's also official resellers, so you can still get incredible deals from the official key resellers. Basically, companies that work with the actual people who make the games, so developers, publishers. But I mean, guys, as men, we have to learn. We should be working on ourselves and investing in ourselves and working on our relationship with God. We should not be working on a relationship or focusing on modern women. You're dealing with people who do not like you and will just take advantage of you if given the opportunity. You know, it's a sad reality, but it's a reality that we as men have to deal with. You should be learning how to do day trade, how to be. You should be learning how to day trade crypto. Checking out Angry's day trading crypto blue for dummies blueprint, because that's one of the best ways, especially with this horrible economy. A lot of the modern women who did what they've done, they're going to find themselves in extraordinary states of poverty and destitution as the floor falls out, as the economy falls out. That's why they're all out there trying to look for provider men. Get yourself a provider man, because they're all broke guys. This is people who do this. It shows you that you're dealing with people who have very bad character. You're dealing with the Jezebel spirit. You're dealing with the face of evil. These are extremely evil people. Extremely evil people. I just want to tell you a little bit about the Crypto Trading for Dummies blueprint. With this blueprint, you'll learn how crypto day trading can help you earn daily profits, even starting small. Imagine making $30 a day with $100 or even hundreds daily trading small amounts. Working just an hour a day. It's written so simply that even a fifth grader can do it. With banks collapsing and the economy in chaos, this skill is your lifeline. Click the link in the description to check it out now.
Whoever get comfortable with that girl you're dealing with, my bitch is going, your bitch is going. Hey, let me tell you something. Every girl is shakeable, breakable, and takeable. The number one rule of the game is don't think you can't get played, including me, bro. It don't matter how many likes you get, how known you are, how much he liked you. All it takes is the right emotion, the right opportunity, or the right dude, and your bitch is gone. Tom Brady's wife left him for a dude who probably makes $100,000 a year owning a fucking jiu-jitsu gym. Tom Brady's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But the money didn't fucking matter. The fame didn't matter. Her emotions did. A lot of you dudes be so in love and get blindsided. Talking about, oh, my girl would never cheat. She's super loyal. Don't put nothing past no girl. Even pimps get knocked for their 304s. You think you got more game and pimp than a fucking pimp? Buster? Now, I'm not making this video to, scare you guys in relationships, right? I'm just giving you the fucking reality, bro. So when a girl falls in love with you, keep falling in love with yourself. Because the moment she leave and you fell in love with her, you're going to be all fucked up, depressed, don't know what the fuck to do. Girls cheat more than men. I've been single for 6 years. I've seen it all and did it all.
I don't want you, but chase me. I don't want you, but chase me. It's never going to be you, and I'm never going to sleep with you, but keep chasing me. I'm not physically attracted to you, but keep chasing me. I'm going to expect the maximum from you, and I'm going to give you what I think you deserve and give you just enough so that you keep chasing me. The only time I'm going to show you any real affection is when I need something. I'm going to flirt with you, drop mixed signals, and drop little hints that you might have a shot, so you keep chasing me. I'm going to ghost you for months and then only come back when the guy I picked over you does me dirty as hell. We're going to pick up right where we left off, and you're going to think you have a shot, but I'm really using you to build my own ego back up again. And then I'm going to ghost you again. But you're going to wonder what happened, so you're going to keep chasing me. And I'm going to make you jump through unnecessary hoops while I give the cheeks to the guy I really like who didn't do anything. And we're both going to laugh at you. But keep chasing me.
And guys, even then, these men don't learn. Even then, these dudes refuse to learn. They refuse to listen. And then and it's only when their lives are destroyed, they've lost everything, do they want to say they want to turn around and blame all women. It's like, bro, you were told not to do these things. You were told what society was actually like. You were told, and now you want to cry about this? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And of course, guys, this is modern women. They're pissed off with passport kings. They're pissed off. They see men walking away and trying to do better for them overseas, and they're pissed off because they put down these men, they attack these men, they shame these men, and now these men are leaving, and they don't know what to do.
Enough about how passport bros are just predators.
So is this what we're doing now? We're calling these passport bros predators? Really? Like, really? Come on now. Just because these men want to go with their passports to go find a lovely woman out of this country does not make them a predator. Were they a predator when they went somewhere else to find a woman in the United States? No, nobody was calling them a predator then. Look up the definition of predator and stop trying to call these men out their name for no reason. The only reason, I'm going to say it, the only reason women are getting mad about passport bros is because they're not getting picked. Hence the word pick me. Makes sense, right? Yep.
Women did it to themselves. We're going to watch as women find themselves in extraordinary states of poverty and destitution in the coming years, and they're not going to have anyone to turn to. They're going to turn around and they're going to say, men help, because the government's not going to bail them out. Society's not going to bail them out. They're going to go back to their default plan that they've always gone to for hundreds of thousands of years. They're going to say, men help, but this time men are going to whisper, no, because this is really, guys, they're trying to ban red pill content. They want men, or they're trying to prevent their kids from watching red pill video. Mothers are trying to prevent their sons from watching red pill videos, and they're trying to have men arrested for watching red pill videos. All right, they want them banned from society because they know that men are waking up, and as a result of men waking up, there's not much they can do about it anymore. By the way, guys, shout out to the 1 Hour Gang. Shout out to the 1 Hour Gang. If you made it this far, shout out to the 1 Hour Gang. Women want men arrested for refusing to raise children that aren't theirs. Are you shocked? Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Men walking away, and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.